Does anybody ever remember the story of the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? I think it's Edmund gets fed some Turkish delight by the white evil witch. And he's so hungering for it that he does her bidding. The Democrats have been lying to us about the Ukraine. It's so obvious. And to tell us that they're winning, I remember when I heard this early on, I'm like, Russia is systematically trashing Ukraine's entire infrastructure, cities and everything. I mean, they're just carpet bombing stuff. And the U.S., of course, is plunging billions of dollars into this joke of a war. And I'm going to say it again. The only people that are fooled are Democrats. The only people that are fooled are Democrats because they don't vote with any amount of intelligence. They support this crap, and anything that the Democrats get behind is something to avoid. And the media, the media doesn't tell the truth about a damn thing anymore. And we're going to listen to them. And to make it sound like the poor Ukraine, and the lie of democracy, democracy, democracy. We've heard Nancy Pelosi throw this word around. We've heard Justin Trudeau in Canada. Justin Bieber or Justin Trudeau. Oh, that was on purpose. Stole a GoFundMe account for truckers that did not riot, did not burn the dang thing down. They had the true definition of a peaceful protest, and little doughboy that cannot push a lawnmower, little doughboy that's never worked a hard day in his life, keeps using the word, this is a threat to democracy. What the hell is democracy? Well, it depends on who's defining it. If it's Nancy Pelosi, it's your mansions, it's your $140 million bank accounts, and no one else is allowed to have that. Only a grown, immature, junior high acting woman can sit in the U.S. government and tear up a facsimile of the State of the Union address, act like a complete toddler. During the COVID situation, a soy boy does a special op-ed about, I call it an op-ed, about her and her ice cream addiction, while people are losing their restaurants and their businesses, and Nancy Pelosi is living in complete Democrat la-la land and cannot pronounce coherently S's. She slurs her speech and can't say to her S's. All those classic symptoms of an alcoholic. Nancy Pelosi is a nasty, evil Jezebel. Make no mistake about it. She's a self-serving, aggrandizing. She's a killer. She has stood by, condoned, and supported the death of 61 million children. We're going to listen to her on the Ukraine. And this is where it's important, excuse me, for Christians to get into Bible prophecy in Ezekiel 38 and 39, where God says to Gog and Magog, which is Russia, I will put hooks in your mouth and I will draw you against my people Israel. And God is going to do it to destroy that nation. How does Russia get to the point where they encircle the land with many Muslim nations with them? AOC wants to defend Muslims, and what she doesn't realize is Muslim is a false religion. Islam is a false religion that stands like this to a holy God. Russia is winning the war. America is playing a war by proxy, which America has been doing for a long time. They did it with the Iran, Iraq, Contra, the OPEC thing. Instead of fighting Russia, let's use another country as a pawn to play our dirty, filthy game. The U.S. is guilty of it. Russia's guilty of it. Russia has sent tanks and weapons to Syria, and we sent tanks and weapons to the opposers. It's disgusting, and it's been going on for a long time in this country. We're not winning the war in the Ukraine. We are bleeding dry the American coffers. And I've said, Ukraine women, they're some of the biggest scammers. They're some of the nastiest women you can get involved with. Beautiful, but they're snakes. And I don't care if they're offended by that. There is no such thing as sweet, lovely Ukraine women. They've got an agenda, and that cuteness on the outside is a ruse. Russia was raping teenage girls and their mothers when they were capturing cities. Sounds like the Japanese with their comfort women back in the day in World War II. Russia could drop a bomb on New York City. And what is the U.S. going to do about it? Biden's going to do more push-ups than Donald Trump, right? And before you say, oh, well, our military, what? You're going to push a button and send an ICBM back? The minute Russia sees that coming, they're going to send off 10 more. And if we do get anything through, that nuclear fallout hits who? A continent comprising of Asia, Europe, and Russia. You think the other people are going to be happy about the U.S.'s actions? You think that Russia cares if fallout hits Canada or Mexico? No, they don't. To believe that this war is winnable by the Ukraine and America is a joke. It is a war by proxy. It is Democrats hate Russia. And this is what's ironic about all this. Anybody paying attention to the hypocrites ought to know when they called Trump Hitler, and Trump was not acting like Hitler, but the Democrats are, censoring free speech. And know this, Biden put $4 billion in the election of Biden. No wonder he's censoring people like me and jailing us for everything and anything. Big tech is doing what the Democrats could not do. It's only a matter of time. Russia and China have united, and Democrats are ignoring that fact. Russia's now piping oil to China and making tons of money. All our little sanctions were a joke. It's like the U.S. saying we're the best and standing against a formidable army with a squirt gun. And the Democrats are saying our sanctions have worked. The Democrats are liars. The American media is liars. The Ukraine is not winning the war. And why did Democrats suddenly get behind it? Hunter Biden ring a bell? I mean, come on, folks. This administration is the filthiest, dirtiest, hairiest armpit of them all. That's all that needs to be said.